We'll do number 4. So, real quick, what's my M in number 4? What do you guys see as my M?
2. Wait, -2.
Negative 2. We got to keep those negatives in mind anytime they're in front. What's my B value?
4.
4. Is it positive or negative? Positive. Good. Okay. Now, here's a little shortcut for us, right? I always like introducing shortcuts. If I see that my B is 4, I know that my line needs to have the point, what? 0, comma 4. So in my table, I see a 0. What do I know has to go below that 0? 4. There we go. I just saved me one little plugging in step. I can do that. Okay? Let's start plugging in. If I plug in 1, -2 times 1 plus 4, what is a negative times a positive always going to give me just in general? A negative, thank you. And what's 2 times 1?
2.
Just 2. So what's -2 times 1? -2. Bring down the plus 4. If I start at -2 on my number line and I add 4 spaces to the right, where do I land?
2.
Positive 2. There's my second point. Right? What am I going to plug in next based on my table? What's the next x value you see on the table? 2. What's -2 times positive 2?
0.
-4. Thank you, Michaela. -4. If I add 4 to -4, what does that get me to? 0. Finally, I'll plug in 3. What's -2 times positive 3? -6. Good. And -6 plus 4 gives me -2. So we can see that my y's are going down by 2 every time. -2, -2, -2. Does that match my slope? Yes, it does. My slope is -2. I should see a change of -2 on my table. So if I plot these points, I'm going to start at the origin. 0, 4, I know has to be directly on this yellow line. What do we call that yellow line? The y-axis. Now there is the origin on there. Is this line going to go through the origin though? No. If it would, what point would we see right here?
4, 0.
The origin? What are the coordinates of the origin? 0, 0. It's not nothing. It is a point 0, 0. If I don't see 0, 0, then it's not going to go through the origin. It's going to go through 0, 4, which is way up there on that yellow line. Remember, if my point starts with a 0, I'm on that yellow line. 1, 2, from the origin, I'm going to go 1 on the x, 2 on the y, make a dot, right? 2, 0, 2 on the x, 0 on the y, make a dot. 3, -2, I'll go 3 on the x, -2 on the y, make a dot. Grab my ruler, which I'll pass out in a second. Make a nice straight line that goes all the way through my graph to the point where my arrows are not on the actual grid. My arrows are on the outside of the grid. All right? And that's what our line looks like. Is this line sloping uphill or downhill? From left to right? Billy says downhill, and I agree. If I put a little guy up here on the left and tell him to walk across that line, they're going down the hill. You guys see that? What does a downhill line tell me about my slope? It's negative. Thank you. Negative slope. In my equation, was the number in front of x a negative number?
Yes.
Yes, it was. That matches up too. Does the blue line that I drew cross the y-axis at positive 4?
Yes.
Yes, it does. That matches up as well. There's like a million different ways we can check our own work using all the tools that we've built so far to make sure that what we're doing is right. You guys get me on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quickly with number 3, if I'm taking half of a number, what's another way of saying I'm taking half of a number? Dividing by 2. -4 divided by 2 is -2. Again, I want to see you guys plugging in and working it out, but just so we can make sure we got it right. Half of -2 is what? -1. What's half of 0? 0. And half of 2?
1.
Just 1. So -4, -2, -2, -1, 0, 0. Hey, what do we call that again? The origin. And 2, 1. So for this one, my line should look just like this. Nice long line all the way through. Arrows on the outside of my grid. Now, is this line sloping uphill or downhill from left to right?
Uphill.
Uphill. Here's my little guy on the left. If I tell him to walk across that line, are they going up the hill or down the hill?
Up.
Up the hill. What does that tell me about my slope?
Positive.
Should be positive. Is the number in front of x in my equation a positive number?
Yes.
Yes, it is. What is that m value?
1/2.
1/2. Positive 1/2, right? Now, what's my b value? Do you see a b value hanging out over here?
No.
So what is it? 0. That means my line should contain the point 0, 0. Does my table have 0, 0 anywhere on there?
Yes.
Yes. Does my line go through the point 0, 0?
Yes.
Yes. Anyone remember what we call a straight line that goes through the origin? Starts with a P. It's like, there we go. Proportional. This is proportional. It's the first week of lessons, right? So a straight line through the origin is proportional. What would we call something like number 4, though? Non-proportional. It is a straight line, does not go through the origin. That makes it non-proportional. I know I have a non-proportional equation when I've got a b value that is not 0. All right? That was like 2 weeks worth of lessons all kind of crammed into one little explanation. Hopefully that's making sense. If not, it definitely will after we get more practice today. If you're not done with